Good morning and Warrior Wednesday. Many, many moons ago, back in the olden days when circuses traveled, and if you remember, they would take the trains to local areas. This was back in the Barnum Bailey days, I believe, and this is a true story from all accounts that I can muster. So, how do you train an elephant to stay with the circus? Look at these giant creatures. How do you keep them from walking around and just going wherever they want? Well, it starts by working with them as babies. So what they do is they take a baby elephant and they put a chain around its leg, and then they take the chain, and then they put that to the post or the whatever device that is going to keep them from walking away, the post from the tent posts. So the baby elephant has this chain around its neck and realizes it, or its leg rather, and realizes it can't go past a certain space. It has its range, its radius, its circle of containment based on the chain, this large chain that's around its leg and then chained to the tent post. So as the elephant gets bigger, what happens with the chain? It actually starts to get smaller, right? Because they're traveling around, they don't want to be having to lift this big giant chain all the time. So it gets smaller and smaller until it actually ends up just being a rope. But the chain stays around the leg of the elephant, and they just swap the rest of it to a rope, and it's easy for them to move around. So what happened is there, unfortunately, it's a horrible story. There was a fire, and everything went ablaze, including the tent. All of the elephants perished. It's so sad. They all died. Why? Because they didn't think they could go any further than their radius because the chain was still around their leg, even though the rope, not only was the rope burnt and gone long time, they always had the ability to just break through that rope with ease. And they were unable to do that because their brains still connected that little chain around their leg to being stuck, and they died. What's the lesson? Where does this show up in our lives? Where maybe we've got a false perceived chain holding us back that we could easily break, that really what is holding that one bit of bars is easy for us to break, or may have already been ruined, may have all fallen apart, may have already been burned because of all the other chaos that's going on in our lives. So if the message here is that you realize that you are capable of so much more, that sometimes the chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. So break free, finally break free. Let your freak flag fly. Go out there, do amazing things, challenge yourself to greatness, hold yourself to a higher standard, surround yourselves with people who hold you to a higher standard, and watch those chains break. Just like that. So, with that being said, I love you for who you are and who you aren't. YouRockSpeaking.com. If you're interested in taking your message out there, if you're interested in growing your business through speaking, through sharing your stories, reach out. Let's get together. Let's make sure we change the world one story at a time. See you soon.